Hi guys, this video is designed to help you make a decision between S&P 500 Index and DJIA, Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. Just for your better understanding, on the thumbnail left half is a screenshot from Wall Street Journal, roughly early May 2024. And right hand side the plot is my replication using the data from Yahoo Finance and some Python script. And this is the Wall Street Journal article. I don't remember exactly which date, and roughly early May 2024. And I enlarged this graph, and they made this plot comparing the S&P 500 historical performance to Dow Jones Industrial Average historical performance since March 1957. I don't know exactly which month of 2024, which date was the end date of this graph, but I just assumed that it should be around the May 10, 2024. So I decided to replicate this graph. And using the data available from Yahoo Finance and using some available script from Google in Python, I replicated. And I added some other things like these gray vertical bars, which represent US recession. Most recent recession was 2020 from March to April. This is the coronavirus recession. And the second next one from right hand is 2008 to 2009, the subprime mortgage crisis recession. And the famous bankruptcy happened September 15, 2008, which was Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy protection, Chapter 11, right? And I see that S&P 500 performance was over 11,700 percentage return, and Dow index was roughly 8,300 percentage return. And this is pretty close to the screenshot of Wall Street Journal. So based on this similarity, maybe same, I guess. So we can be confirmed, we can be assured Wall Street Journal made a right, correct graph. Also, I replicated right, correct way, right? Okay. And again, so good news is that the data from Yahoo Finance is exactly same, presumably, as the data they used using S&P Dow Jones Indices LSEG database, London Stock Exchange Group. LSEG is also doing business like us, selling some analytics product or some risk management model tools. Okay, I extended the data from May 2024 to most recent, which is the last Friday, 2 days ago, end of May 2025. And as you see, from the early March 1957, S&P 500 has been growing 134 times if I round up. So $1 March 5th, 1957 is now equivalent to $134, right? However, Dow index is roughly 90 times. So based on these comparisons and across multiple number of recessions, it is confirmed, empirically confirmed to be the S&P 500 has been outperforming Dow index across many recessions, many credit economic cycles. Because how many recessions so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 10 economic recessions. The data of recession are available from the FRED, the St. Louis Federal Reserve database, which is also free, right? And let me walk you over a little bit more details by comparing annualized return, annualized volatility, and annualized risk-adjusted return. So this is the average annualized return comparing S&P 500 index and Dow index. Left hand side is Dow, DJIA. Right hand side is S&P 500. So for the period from 1957 to 2025, S&P 500 annualized return is roughly 8.3% something, and Dow is slightly less than 8%. So annualized return of S&P 500 is higher than Dow index by roughly 0.3, 0.4%, or 0.5% roughly, right? What about the volatility? Annualized volatility of Dow is found to be higher than S&P 500, but pretty close to each other. S&P 500 annualized volatility is roughly 14.647%, or less than 15%. Dow is almost same as S&P 500. So if you recall the average VIX, the volatility index VIX is actually 16-17% of the last 30 years. So these are roughly 15, slightly less than 15% of the annualized volatility of S&P 500 and Dow index is pretty in line with the average of VIX over the last 35 years, right? And now let's compare the risk-adjusted return. So risk-adjusted return is defined to be like a Sharpe ratio, how much return can be created, how much return will be increasing given 1 unit change, 1 unit increase in the volatility. So definition of this risk-adjusted return is annualized return divided by annualized volatility. So this is same concept as a Sharpe ratio. So if you look at this risk-adjusted return, which is also annualized, S&P 500 is slightly higher than Dow Jones Industrial Average risk-adjusted return based on the roughly 70 years of history from 1957 until 2025. So look, based on this higher risk-adjusted return of the S&P 500, right? Higher risk-adjusted return is equivalent to the conventional belief, high risk, high return, right? High risk, high return implies that companies or management, they decide to undertake value-creating riskier business, riskier investment. Then that company, the management and shareholder will get rewarded for the risk taking, right? So value, in this case, the value creating risk taking is usually called high risk, high return. So that high risk, high return is also confirmed to be the consistent with this visual comparison. So for the last roughly 70 years, from 1957 to 2025, S&P 500 cumulative return was 13,269 percentage, while Dow index cumulative return was 8,865 percentage return. And that outperformance has been pretty robust and stable across many different credit economic cycles. There were 10 economic recessions so far for the last roughly 7 years, right? Yeah, and this video is again designed to help you make a good decision or right decision, especially when it comes to when you have to choose one index over other index. When you do the long-term investment, for example, 401k, you are allowed to buy some mutual fund, and there are multiple mutual funds that are tracking many different types of indices. One of them is Dow Index and S&P 500. If you plan to invest in the next 30, 40, 50 years in your 401k account or even Roth IRA account, and of course, there is no guarantee history will repeat in the future. There is no guarantee that S&P 500 has been outperforming Dow Index for the last 70 years. So for the next 50 years, next 7 years, S&P will continue outperform Dow Index. No, there is no guarantee. But we human beings, we tend to learn some lesson from the history, from experience, right? So hopefully this video can be useful, some insight or indicator, or some source of some wisdom when it comes to your long-term investment decision making. Thank you very much.